May profits be upon you. I hope your weekend is going very, very nice and relaxing, and you're away from your charts for a little bit. I'm just hoping that you're enjoying your time away. All right. Let's get started. Let's start off with the calendar for next week. You can see we have interest rate decision for China that might affect big metals and whatnot, steel anyway. You got the New Zealand core. New Zealand, look, these events, that although they're red tagged, they're not going to really make the market go crazy. A lot of these numbers are already baked in, right? But when you get down to the New Zealand rate statement, interest rate decisions that's going to be coming up on Wednesday, that's a market mover there. All right, that's going to have a very heavy effect on New Zealand, and depending on how things go, I am looking for New Zealand strength. I'm looking for New Zealand to strengthen at this time. So, but the thing is that you got to watch with interest rate decisions is the days before markets are going to move sideways. All right. And, you know, you might not get a whole lot of traction in New Zealand pairs up until Wednesday. Bear that in mind. Okay. You got some news with USD coming as well, FOMC minutes and whatnot. But just be careful if you're a scalper around these times, because they are red envelopes. But this isn't a big, you know, heavy news market and whatever. But I also want to share something with you here. Biggest, most impactful currency is the USD. All right. And I'm looking at the COT report for USD. And as you can see, they added 1,438 longs, added 1,978 shorts. Right? Now that's interesting. This is the non-commercial. These are the hedge fund guys and stuff. All right. But what you want to see, what you want to know is that they are heavily, heavily long. All right. Lopsided long. Got it? That's what you want to keep in mind for you know, for when you look at the COT reports. All right. 80% as opposed to 22% short. 80% long. Got it? So we're looking at, excuse me. We're looking at continued strength that we saw last week in the USD. And I'm looking for more of that to happen this week. Okay. Now let's look at the Dixie, shall we? All right. What do you notice? Price impulsed bearishly, created this zone of demand, had a nice impulse to the upside, right? And what happens here is what price did was it broke structure here to the downside. What do we expect after a break of structure? We expect a return to the impulsing order block. And that's exactly what it did. And now we have a more bearish continuation, right? But here's the thing to notice here. That's a higher low, all right, relative to this one. So because price didn't break the low here, you start getting the hint that price may turn bullish, okay? We make this little double bottom here, if you will, all right? We had a price come up, a nice pullback, but we didn't make a lower low relative to this one, right? And price made a higher high. Now, once you break structure and this high as well, all right, taking the liquidity up here, what do you expect? You expect a return to impulse. Well, we haven't had that return to impulse yet. Let's look on the weekly. And what do we see? The higher low here, the break of structure here. You see how price danced on this monthly demand zone, all right, and created this demand zone here, a nice weekly, all right. Price had a nice impulse up, breaking the structure, or breaking these highs here, breaking that high, taking the liquidity from both of those, filling in the fair value gap or the imbalance here, over here, filling it in. So you know that price was going to end up coming up this way anyway. Now, what are we going to do here? This is a point of interest, isn't it? We have another one here as well. What I like to do is when price reaches an opposing order block, an opposing zone from demand to supply, from supply to demand, that is my point of interest, and I would look for signs that price is going to you know, oh, man, I thought I had a pin. I thought you're looking for signs that price may transition and come on back down for whatever reason, right? So this is the look on the daily. We got the prices found this daily order block over here, and I want to take a closer look at this price action as it reaches this daily order block. So I'm going to go to the 4-hour, right? You see how price is creating what price likes to do, is create highs and lows. And all of these are liquidity points, right? And what the market makers like to do, the composite man, the guy that we trade against, he likes to whip above these highs and take all of that liquidity, then whip down, take these lows out and take all of that liquidity, right? People who are taking shorts, that's where all their stop losses are, you know, for breakout traders who want to take those shorts. This is where all the stop losses are for people who want to take longs, all right? They come back by and sweep them. Same thing here, just the flip side of it. People are taking breakout trades, have pending orders for longs. Market makers come up, sweep them, and take those stop losses for people who took shorts and carry on. That's the game we play. And we see that happening over here. Okay. So we know that price is creating internal points of liquidity underneath. Here. Oh man, I gotta do this better. Here, here, here. Look at the equal lows down here. These are known liquidity points. Just latent or liquidity pools here. And price will eventually come down and sweep the whole thing and then continue back, then continue up or continue down further, whatever it's going to do. But it's going to come for that liquidity at some point. All right. And so this generation of liquidity on the way up into this POI is very attractive to me. All right, it attracts my eye. We're on 4-hour, right? And you see how price created equal highs here. This one here, this one here. All right, price didn't pass that high. It respected that high to this point. All right, so are we going to fill in this wick and come take this high out, grab the liquidity and then fall? That is a scenario, a very possible scenario. But I am looking for more strength in the USD than weakness this week. So that's something that we have to consider. Could we see a scenario where it pulls back and then continue higher, making a higher low and going on to make the higher high? That is the situation that I'm anticipating, but we need to see if price comes in, filling in this imbalance here. If you see that word, see, filling in the imbalance here, right? And there's another imbalance all the way down. That's why price has incentive to come down here and sweep these low points. But again, I'm not expecting price to become weak for the USD. So if we dip down below this low here, I'm looking for price to find a place to transition from bearish to bullish momentum and continue with the bullish momentum once it makes that higher low. If once it breaks this low, I'm looking for price to return to impulse. All right. If it breaks this high here with a close, all right, if it breaks this high with a close, then I'm looking for a return to impulse here. Got it? Looking for, if it does that, then I'm looking for it to do this. If this, then that. That's the way it works. Now watch, I want to show you something on the 15-minute. This is the value of going down lower. This is what my mentees get. You see that? 1, 2. This might be a possible right shoulder over here. All right. This is the transition of price if it plays out. If it plays out. But I would expect if it breaks this low, then we're going to be looking for a place for it to come back up, because I'm not expecting price to just stay weak with the USD. Hope you can follow that logic. Okay, let's move on. Your EURUSD. Let's go take a look at the daily. All right. Let's see where we're at. Okay. I really got to stop doing it. All right. What do we got here? All right. Well, on the weekly, you can see that price broke this structural point here, right? As it came down, it made a lower high. So, you know, you get a hint that, you know, after a while, your eyes just start to train to see the transition of price. Okay. And it breaks the low. It comes back up for what? A return to impulse. Am I right? Of course I'm right. And then the continuation of the bearish momentum. All right. Now, I want to see what's going on here. We broke this low, taking the liquidity. So it looks like instead of price going all the way up, it looks like we're going to sweep lower. So, and that's what the price is doing right now. Let's take a look on the daily. Can we get a clearer look at the price action? This is my thing. Price reached this POI here, all right, at the weekly, and I'm looking for what? The transition of price. If it's going to transition, I want to catch that long and ride it up. All right. However, if it doesn't give me that transition, it looks like it wants to break these lows. I want to see that as well and take that short all the way down. Right? Does that make sense? Of course it makes sense. Let's look at the 4-hour. All right. So, because I want to take a look at this POI. Let's see if I could just right. All right. We're coming down. That's just one impulse leg for me. One impulse leg. So I'm looking for a higher low to be made somewhere. And that might be right about here. You know, we done broke. This is where you check where the breaks of structure might be. All right. We broke structure here. God, dug it. We broke structure here. We broke it here. Right. But we didn't get that return to impulse here. We got the return to impulse here, but it fell very aggressively down here. Right. So as we reach this POI, I'm looking at the same kind of scenario. Boom, boom, right? Wrong colors, but that's okay. All right, I'm looking for the same transition of price. All right, is this going to be a head? All right, and if it's going to be a head, then I'm going to be looking for price to do this, right? Head, a break over past this structural point, and then a retest to form the right shoulder. When I say a retest, I'm looking for either a bullish order block somewhere near the head, but in this leg of structure here. And then, all right, that's it. So, and with the euro now, I got to bear in mind those possible situations. All right. I'm looking for USD strength against the euro. The euro is weak. Matter of fact, let's take a look at something. See if I got it here. There you go. Let's take a look. This is my what do you call? This is my easy math. These are the extremes. All right. Don't pay as much attention to those numbers because they got to be updated. But I'm looking at how the week ended. Look, I'm looking long term here. Okay. So I'm matching up these. I'm going to match these up, and then I'm going to cross match those. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to, I'm looking at these primarily. Then I'll look at these. Then I'll get to those, but I'm looking to match the strongest to the weakest. Dig? So that's what I'm keeping in mind. With Euro USD, wow, I didn't, why isn't that going away? What? I gotta erase everything. What is this? Okay. All right. So what I'm doing here is the possible scenario if price decides to reverse here at this POI. This is a weekly zone of demand. If price decides to transition here, then I'll have my inverted quasi or inverted head and shoulders, whatever you want to call. But that is not this. That doesn't fit my scenario. My scenario calls for further declines in the Euro USD, like it started last week. All right. If it does turn here, I'm looking for a short-term highs and then coming down, and then continuation of the bearish momentum. I think if we look left, oh my goodness, if we look left, can't keep doing this. If we look left, I'm looking for, we see the transition of price here. Is price going to be able to eat through this bullish order block? Are we going to pass through this? Are we going to penetrate deeper into this bullish order block? So what I want to do is I'm going to take a quick look at it and see where there's a head here. All right, I'm going to look at it on the 12. I'm going to see if price goes in here and finds a reason to turn around. I'm going to look at this line here. This right here. And I'm going to bear this one in mind, because you see how strong it is as price could not get past it, right? This is what attracts my eye. If I can just get it down there to the other side. All right. And let's see if price makes it all the way down here. All right. If it does, and then fires off and starts to transition, then we're going to have a situation there. And I'm going to be looking for some upside. Okay. But I am generally bearish on Euro USD. Let's go to EURCAD. All right. Let's go to the daily. I showed you what I wanted to show you. You see this here? It just whittles down to where is my point of interest. All right, I'm looking at price. All right, it looks bearish. We had a transition here and it started coming down. All right, chopped up around here a little bit, a little sideways movement, and then we flushed. All right, taking out all these low points for liquidity, including this one. This is what inclines me to think, all right, that price may want to reverse here. All right, I am looking for EURCAD to continue bearishly. All right, but we had a break of structure here, didn't we? We can't ignore breaks of structure. We had all these lows and all this liquidity taken out with this sweep, all right, including this one. All right, we've reached a point of interest here. All right, and we have a lot of inefficient price movement here, a lot of imbalance that would give a good reason for price to want to retrace up there, right? I want to see what this price action is looking like here as we reach this point of interest. All right, we had a very, very aggressive reaction once price reached the weekly. And how did price close last week? A bearish engulfer. That's very interesting to me. All right, let's take a closer look at it. On 4 hour, we can see price came down, inefficient price move there. We filled in that missing price here, that fair value gap, making the lower high, and I expect a lower low to be made. This is perfect. This is perfect. Now, also what I want you to notice is this 4 hour bearish order block here. All right, you know, once an order block is formed, what we're going to be looking for, what I look for anyway, is a retest of that base candle here, and then the continuation of bearish momentum. This is a great setup in my view. This one looks hot and ready. All right. Now you have just understand that the CAD is stronger relative to other pairs. It is kind of being dragged down a little bit by oil prices as they decline, but overall, CAD is number 2 strongest currency as of Friday. So we just bear that in mind. Only second to the USD. So you know, just I'm looking for price to continue and bearishly breaking these lows, coming for all these low swings, these wick lows for liquidity. Okay, this is internal liquidity here, and price loves to come get it, and I think that's exactly what it's going to do. Got it? All right, let's move on. Pound USD. Pound is not my favorite this week. All right, relatively kind of neutral as on its own, kind of in the middle right now, but against the USD, I'm looking for further declines because I'm looking for USD to be stronger and drag the price down. What do I want you to notice? If we look on the daily, we can see prices coming down from this higher time frame zone of supply. All right, we have a daily order block here, and this could be definitely refined to that. Okay, all right, but this is the one that's closest to where we had a break of structure here. All right, if price returns to impulse after this break of structure, then hey man, things could happen, right? But what I want you to bring your nose to is we have a weekly order block over here, right? This tall, I mean, it's kind of a long wick here, but this is where a weekly order block is. I just left the line there instead of having a big old square on it. So we are in a POI, and we are showing signs of transition from this low to that lower low to that higher low. You know what I'm talking about, right? And we have a daily order block here. You see the reaction off in the mitigation of this order block. So maybe we get, like I said earlier with Dixie, maybe we get some early weakness in the week for the dollar, and then continuation of the bearish trend. Now, if it comes all the way up here, that's fine. This would be great. This is premium. This is not premium price. This is discount prices. This is premium price for a short. All right. We want the discount prices up here where institutions like to get. So that's the scenario I am looking for. If price gives us that weakness in the dollar and pound finds its way up, I'm looking for that. All right. I'm looking for the continuation of the bearish trend. Overall, I am bearish in this market. All right. But the return to impulse is what I'm looking for. All right. Now, some might say, hey, wouldn't you see something there? Looking on a 2-day, you can see it a little bit cleaner. All right. That's a bearish order block. All right. But is this the source? All right. Could we get that double top? Could we get it here like it just did? Like it just did. You know, you see how price came up into this order block to mitigate this order block. All right. And come down. Hey, this might be that scenario. It might continue and fill this wick here. It might. All right. I want you to keep your mind open for both scenarios. All right. If we see temporary the temporary weakness in the USD, the pound will take it up. All right. Does it go past this order block? Maybe. Or maybe it respects the order block. But because if it's going to respect bearish order blocks, then it'll respect this price point. But you got to ask, what did that order block accomplish? Well, it broke that low. All right. Now, is that a source? If you look at it on the 2-day, this looks like it could be a source. Why is that the wrong color? I'm actually looking at this right now, thinking that price might fill in this wick here. Maybe taps it, goes into it a little bit more and then comes back down. This is a weekly order block that it's in, showing this transition. So that's why I was thinking that it would likely go higher. It would likely go higher here, or maybe even there, because it's coming from a weekly order block here. So we'll see. We'll look how it reacts when it gets down here. And we'll go to the lower time frames and see if price is going to give us a transition. All right. That's what we're going to do. Look at this on the 4-hour. All right. We can, I mean, you know, that price is doing its thing here already. All right. But if it comes up past these highs, we could refine this to this point. And that would be a likely scenario. We are building up, generating liquidity with this choppy correction, and I could see that correction going up here and then continue bearishly. So we're going to watch. We are going to watch this. All right. It's not exactly ready to go, but it's forming. Okay. It is forming. Let's move on. USDCAD, not on the top of my favorite list. Why? Because, you know, matter of fact, I'm not even going to go into USDCAD. No, we're not doing USDCAD because there are stronger markets to look at. USD Swiss. Let's look at USD Swiss. All right. Let's go to the daily. All right. Where's the breaker structure? Where's the POI? That's what I want to know. We got a higher low going from this one to that one. Okay. We took liquidity on the way up. Okay. We see a transition once price hit this weekly order block. Okay. On the way up. Nice impulse. What are we breaking on the way? Short-term highs and lows, structural points. Yet, hard to discern here, but it looks like we got to show a weakness to sellers. Okay. And then we get this transfer of hands from weak hands to strong hands. All right, now who's running things? Buyers. All right, and we came all the way up here. All right, this was the break of this was one of the breaks anyway. We had a lot of structural breaks in here. We'll wait for that return to impulse, and we found it here, right? This one was violated. This bearish order block was violated, but not the head. You do see this, right? All right. So once this is respected, we look for price to come back and mitigate, and then continue down bearishly. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bearish price action because of this impulse. After every impulse comes a correction, right? All right, is this a proper correction? No, a proper correction would be somewhere down here. All right, and then continuing with the bullish trend. All right, we made a higher low. I'm looking for a higher high to be made, and that would require this high to be broken. That's a higher time frame. You know, the intent of price on those time frames. We broke this high. We broke this. I'm looking for this high to be broke. All right, high lows. Come on. This one isn't hard. All right. So what are we looking for? Looking for price to come on down. Get this out of here. Looking for price to come on down, and then continue higher. Could it pop from here? It certainly could. That's a 2-candle pullback. It certainly could. All right, let's make sure we take a closer look at it. How did I leave that mark on there? All right, and we'll just look at the price action. All right, we got a higher logo on there. Maybe it could pop up there, but I don't see that happen. I see, price coming down because I believe that USD will be weak on the open and then gain strength and take the Swiss all the way up. Okay, let's go to Aussie USD. I didn't realize how much time I've been spending on this. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Why am I sorry? I'm trying to teach you guys for free. All right, so we see this impulse to the downside. All right, price broke structure. All right, broke structure here. What do we expect? A return to impulse. That's exactly what it did. Boom. Broke that structure, broke higher. What do we expect? Now, see, it did this, did that hezzy move. This is an interesting thing. A lot of times that could be a breaker block. All right, you look for price to come back under it and then continue down. I believe that's exactly what happened. If we see it more clearly on the lower time frames. Anyway, we broke structure and we're looking for that return to impulse. That's exactly what it's doing. And what do we have? An order block, a block of orders, right? We're also targeting these liquidity points, right? We can see price may be targeting these liquidity points, but I'm looking for that return. I'm looking for some kind of return to impulse and then continuation of the bearish momentum. So we have reason with these liquidity points for price to continue down, to break this low, to break that low. All right. But right now, technically, we are bullish. All right. The momentum is bullish until this low is broke, because this is your trading range. Why do I keep pointing? This is your trading range from that high low to that higher high. All right. And until this higher low is broken, all right, that's when we'll know, okay, price has changed from a bullish momentum to a bearish momentum. And then we can start planning for shorts. All right. Technically, we're still bullish until this low is broken. All right. Now, let's look on the 4-hour. And what do we see? I'm looking for price to find a reason to head back up. Come on, man. What? I'm going to get a new computer. Come on, man. I swear this thing is acting so funky. Why? Why? All right. So what we have here on the 4-hour, you can see there's a break of structure here and then lower, right? We broke these lows, generating liquidity and then sweeping for that liquidity. What do we have up here? Aha, equal highs and equal lows. I need you to start pointing this out for yourself, okay? Equal highs, all right? Why is it, hold on. That's what I meant to put. This doesn't belong there anymore. Okay, yes, all right. So equal highs, you know, there's liquidity up here. There's a reason for price to want to go back up here, okay? So I'm looking for a return to impulse, all right? And that impulse might be in here now. You see how much time we spent here, all right? I'm looking for a return to impulse, and maybe price doesn't go past. That's not what I was trying to do. Price doesn't go past here, okay? Maybe it comes up to the POI here. This is our new POI, and maybe it comes up here and then continues down. All right. We're going to see how price acts here. Once it, see that arrow there, that's liquidity. Once it breaks that liquidity, and I'm pretty sure it will, that's when I'll start looking for transition. All right, on the lower time frames, I'm looking for this and then breaking that low. That's what I'm looking for on AUDUSD, because I am bearish in this market. I believe the US dollar will take it down eventually next week. All right, next, AUDCAD. Same kind of situation here. You see, let's go to daily so you can get a good picture of it. You see the price action here. All right, we got a low, we got a lower low, and then a lower high. I'm looking for a lower low. I'm looking for this low to be broken. We're going to see what price does once it reaches this POI. All right. On the way down, this is going to be a break. Excuse me. This what am I doing? All right, this is going to be a break of structure. Right. If we get down in here, I'm looking for a return to impulse and then continuation of the bearish momentum, because I am bearish in this market. CAD is very strong against Aussie dollar. Got it? So on the 4-hour, taking a really close look at this price action. All right, I'm looking for some lows, some structural lows to be broken here. So I'll be looking at this. All right, it's not only liquidity down there, but that's a pretty strong structural point. Also, I'm not going to ignore what's going on over here. Right. All right, we have short-term lows already being broken in there. So I'll be looking for an early return to impulse and then down. All right, there's a hint that we might see this one act as that return, you know, the impulsing order block. If it comes all the way up here, that's fine. That gives us a better price. This is a discount pricing. All right, this one here is barely. I would like to see that come from higher, honestly. But we have to look at the possibilities. This is a possible spot that price may want to do its thing. They want to reject from there, okay, after breaking these short-term lows here. All right, so look for this low to be broken, look for that low to be broken, and then quite possibly a return, and then the continuation of the bearish momentum. That's going to be interesting. Why didn't I draw the line down first? I don't know why. This is what I'm talking about, folks. I'm looking for this. That's what I'm looking for. All right. You know what? I'm not looking at New Zealand until Wednesday, and I'll send something for it for New Zealand dollar. Okay, so to wrap it up, I'm looking for that strength with USD to come in at some point. We may open weak. All right, I'm looking for the Euro USD, EURCAD, Euro New Zealand after Wednesday. Anything with Wednesday, anything having to do with New Zealand dollar, I'm looking for after Wednesday. Wednesday and after. All right. Aussie dollar USD, Aussie dollar CAD, Aussie dollar. Again, Aussie dollar New Zealand. That's going to be on Wednesday, right? But I'm looking for shorts in those markets. Okay. USD Swiss, I'm looking for longs. I'm looking for, but I'm waiting for price to tell me it's the bias has changed. All right. I hope you benefit from this analysis. I will see you in the next video. Check out the last couple of videos I sent. I have up on the screen right now. Check out those videos. Those are lovely breakdowns if you want to see and know how to mark up your charts like I do, and in the morning, and where you want to take your trades from. Okay, I will see you in the next video, and trade safely, traders. All right, may profits be upon you.